Sunday Nighter. These next two games that we will be capping will be live betting right here on Pub Sports Radio. So I have extreme interest in them. 8:20 p.m. Eastern. Pittsburgh Steelers 2-4, 1-2 on the road at the Miami Dolphins, 3-3, 2-1 at home. We're at Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida. 78 Fahrenheit, scattered thunderstorms, and 7 miles per hour. There's our guy Nut Flush Allen in the house. Great to see you, Nut Flush. Let's go over to the line history here for the Sunday Nighter. You have the Dolphins opening up at -6. They're now at 7.5. So a big move towards the fish. From a totals perspective, it opened up at 44.5 as a pick'em. That 44.5 is now juiced to -116 to the over. So, yes, Tua is back for the game. Sun Dizzle. We have 4,299 tickets in. 52% of the tickets, 75% of the cash on the Dolphins. Then 30% of the tickets and 59% of the cash on the over. Steelers avoided their worst start in 34 years with the big 2018 home win over the Buccaneers. Kenny Pickett, 11 for 18 for 67 yards and a touchdown, then went into concussion protocol late in the third quarter. And as Andy talked about off the top of the show, Trubisky came in and was strong. I mean, he looked good. He looked better than he's looked all year. 9 of 12, 144 yards and a touchdown. Chase Claypool from Sun Dizzle's hometown of Abbotsford, British Columbia, caught 7 passes, 96 yards, and 1 touchdown. Najee Harris ran 14 times for 42 yards, caught 2 passes for 7. The defense bent but didn't break. So this, I'm still. What? How could they not? How could Brady not have been able to attack the secondary? They were missing Minkah Fitzpatrick, safety. They were missing cornerbacks Cam Sutton, Levi Wallace, and Akila Witherspoon, and they held on. They sacked Brady twice. They hit him 5 times. The red zone defense was very good, holding the Bucs to 1 touchdown and 4 tries. They held Mike Evans to 4 catches for 42 yards. It was shock and awe and cost me the survivor pools. The Dolphins come in off a 24-16 loss at home to the Vikings. Skylar Thompson injured his thumb in the second quarter. Teddy Bridgewater came in, 23 of 34, 329 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. So it's the 4th straight game that the Dolphins starting quarterback was injured. Tagovailoa will go through practice this week, and he's expected to be the starter. He's going to go have all the first-team reps, and we expect him to be there. He's been out since week 4, the week 4 concussion against the Bengals. Dolphins averaged 27.6 points per game in their first 3 games with Tua, and they averaged 16 points a game in their next 3 games without him. Tyreek Hill, 12 catches for 177 yards. Jalen Waddle, 6 for 129. Mike Gesicki caught 6 passes for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns. Miami's offensive line, without starting left tackle Teron Armstead, did not look good. Then they lost right tackle Austin Jackson. They lost him in week 1 of the season, but having both of Austin Jackson and Teron Armstead out, they looked bad. They looked really bad. So Jackson's dealing with this high ankle sprain. They thought he could come back last week, but he's not back. Teron Armstead is supposed to be back this week, and they don't think that Austin Jackson will be back this week. But that's what happened to this offensive line. They lose. They could handle it losing Jackson, and then when they lost Armstead too, they were in big trouble. Take it away for us, Andy. Steelers, Dolphins, Sunday Nighter.
I thought I'd want to wait on this with the injury news with Pickett, Trubisky. I'm not sure it's a big adjustment either way. And yeah, I mean, most people are pointing out that this line is, I mean, it's all but confirmed Tua is playing. That's a step up. He should be fine. I'm not sure the last time I won a teaser, maybe week 3, but yeah, this is such a sexy teaser leg for me with the Dolphins getting a nice plus matchup here against a team that did overperform. I don't know if it was. I did give them credit. I don't have hope that this team is able to continue to do this, especially on the road. We saw what they did to the Vikings last year, where they put it at, hey, it's 120 degrees on the sideline for this other team. Similar, just a home game, getting this many points. I'm putting this in a teaser with, I mean, spoiler alert, the only other game left on the board. We'll get to that in a second. So, yeah, Pittsburgh, maybe Nut Flush pointing this out, coming out a little bit flat after that, beating up on Brady. This Miami offense, they don't have to they don't have to do that much to get it going. And it was a really incongruous game, having to go from one quarterback to the other. And truthfully, they probably should have won that game. They kept Minnesota had 3 touchdown drives. The other 11 were 3 and outs. It's a very odd box score in this. So this is a 6-point teaser for me with, and like people are pointing out, it's probably going to be with New England. And by probably, I mean, I already bet that.
So when did you, so is it for our record keeping purposes, that Dolphins -1.5?
Yeah, it's 7, so it's not a true long teaser, but I don't give a shit anymore. I just love this one enough. So this is Dolphins 1, Patriots 2.
And interesting points going back and forth from the chat. Brady says if it's bad weather, and it is possible that there is, because they have scattered thunderstorms. They are supposed to start around 5-ish. It's possible, but that's almost always the weather this time of year. It says if there's wind and Tua can't throw the football, Miami can't run the ball. Tua can't get exposed. Take the Steelers. Let this line climb.
Yeah, I don't think they have to go deep. I mean, we've seen this with if you have the proper game plan for Tyreek Hill, he doesn't have to be 40 yards down the field to get him the ball. Like if I'm McDaniel and I'm easing Tua back in, it's a lot of short stuff. Getting the ball in your explosive receiver's hands, not worrying about having to run the ball much. And yeah, I'm not letting Tua hold the ball for 5-7 step drops. I'm not throwing anything deep. It's going to be short. So yeah, Miami gets it done, but I'm going to tease this one.
Interesting. A lot of interesting points. I can't wait to live bet this game here on Pop Sports Radio. So I'm going to take more time capping it at this point. But so when we talk about the difference in points scored with Tua under center, so 27.6 points in the first 3 games, 16 in their next 3 without him. Do we go back to that number 27.6, or do we think that Tua won't want to leave the pocket, and as you said, he won't want to take too long before throwing bombs?
Well, and like I said, you see a lot of Tyreek's big plays aren't bombs. It's just getting him the ball in space. It can be bubble screens, it can be slants, it can be little up and outs. Like he doesn't have to be 40 yards down the field before he touches the ball. He's crazy dangerous, not because he's just so fast once he gets going. He's so fast off his first step. Like people constantly take bad angles on Tyreek Hill because it's just other people don't run that fast from a standstill. It's silly. So hopefully Tua's fully healthy here. I think they gave him lots of time. That was one of those things where he probably could have started last week.
Oh, he could have started last week. Yeah,
I think they gave him extra time and he's just fine.
Yeah, I agree and hope as well. Spenny Pennybombs had an 8-team teaser last week. It was a thing of beauty, and we enjoyed watching it cash. That last one with the Cowboys plus 12.5, and there was some nerves when it was 20-0. But great cash, Spenny. I loved it. Thank you for sharing that with all of us too. It's fun to watch our friends cash.
We had the second half over 20 in that one. Drew and I landed right on 20 because they went for too late.
Yeah,
it was and I'm fine with these teams going for 2 in the spots where it puts them up 9 or puts them up, by 3 scores. But I hadn't seen that one before to go up by 11. It was
either did I, and it was going to cost me my first live bet that I made, the under 44.5. So I thought I was in business odd. Still. I thought I was in business, and then they were going for 2, and I was like, oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Birdie has a point. We'll see. So much of especially with knee injuries, you see that some players aren't the same. They say recovering from an ACL is half mental, like having the trust in your leg, the trust to get hit. We'll see. I don't know. Tua's been injured enough. I think he's fine going back out to war.
But yeah, no, it's an interesting point. He was just, it's too bad. It's too bad that the progress got stymied here, and I hope he gets back rolling again. But it's a very interesting point, Birdie, and your weather call. There's a lot to think about. The Niners game and the Dolphins game, there's so many moving parts here, especially with the Steelers secondary. There's a lot to think about.